So you might be watching this video because of the IG post where I asked, do you as a coach feel undervalued? Do you as a coach feel overlooked before you're even seen? Because you're applying for a head coaching job, coordinator job, or even a job, and yet you're being rejected time after time? If that's the case, listen to my story. Because my story is one of no after no after no. My story is one of rejection that turned into greatness. Now, success is in the eyes of the beholder, right? So you could call it success or not, but when I say greatness, I mean greatness for my life. Greatness is in my coaching career took me to places that I never dreamed of. My coaching career allowed me to interact with coaches, with players that to this day I have special bonds and relationships with. Now that is greatness. So listen to my story, see if it connects, and hopefully you also take no's, turn them into yeses, and turn it into greatness. So the story of my coaching career came when I actually had a great job. I was working for the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA, yes. Now, if you want to hear all the no's that it took for me to get to the NBA, that's a different story. Feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to share it with you. But it was a wonderful opportunity. And not only that, I met some of the greatest friends I have to this day, right? I was able to start side by side with my daughter's godfather now, and we are still best of friends. Now, while I was working for the Dallas Mavericks, I started to kind of work my way into scouting, which was kind of a dream of mine, but I always wanted to be an NFL scout before I got into coaching. Now, I was meeting a lot of people, video coordinators, assistant general managers, people who are in charge of public relations. I'm really starting to work my way to the other side of basketball, and it was great, and I was excited about it. So I went and I bought a book. The book was called Basketball on Paper. Now, Basketball on Paper was a book that really dove into the analytics of basketball, a book that every general manager should read or probably had read. I would open it up, I bought it, open it up, get to chapter 2, fall asleep. Open it up again, get to chapter 2, fell asleep. And I was like over and over, and I was getting frustrated because the book was telling me no, my mind was telling me no, right? And in that no, I was getting very frustrated because I was making it over to where I wanted to be to become a scout. I was right there. Yet every time I opened this book, I would fall asleep, and it was frustrating because I was being told no. And I couldn't think, why am I being told no right now? I'm right here. Yet I could not get past this book. And it wasn't because I was lazy. I worked hard day in and day out. I just could not get past it. So I went back to the bookstore and I saw a book. And this book was called Meat Market. And Meat Market was a book about college football. I opened it up. I read the whole book in like a day. Maybe a week. I just stormed through it, right? So then all of a sudden I thought, I want to be a coach. I want to be a college football coach. But I'm working in pro basketball. How do I make that jump, right? How do you go from basketball to football and not business to business, but business to scouting or business to coaching? I have no idea how that's going to work. So I did my research. So being the son of a coach, I knew that in Texas, I had to teach in order to coach. I couldn't just coach. And then I also knew that I couldn't go to college to be a grad assistant because I already had my MBA. And what would I go to school for? I really didn't know. Plus, I couldn't just lose all my income and go back to college at the time. I could have, I guess, but I really didn't have a clue or an idea how to get there. I knew that the best way to get into coaching was through high school or possibly junior high through high school. So I went to a program, which was a 6-month program where I could be alternatively certified, right? And in this certification, it would allow me to teach in Texas, which would allow me to coach. So in this, I told the Mavericks what I was doing because I believe in ethics and I believe in being forward with the people who give you a job. And I said, look, I'm looking to leave at the end of July because I'm going to go coach. I'm going to go teach. They looked at me, are you crazy? Like, you got a good job and you're going to leave it? Like, you're doing great. You're going to leave this job? Professional basketball? Like, I got to because coaching, it's inside of me right now. And this is what I think I have to do. I pray I have to do this. And so I started. And kind of based on the timelines, I knew when I would finish. And it was in January. And I knew I would finish my alternative certification. And then I would start coaching that September or August, whatever it may be, whenever school would start. So I had a timeline in my mind. So I moved out of my apartment complex because I knew that if I got a job, it could be anywhere. I mean, I could be all over the state of Texas because if I get a good job, I'm gone, I'm going. Now, I'm in North Texas, and if you know anything about Dallas DFW, football is king. So there's hundreds of jobs, of great jobs in North Texas. I really didn't have to go far, but I didn't know. I might have got offered a job in San Antonio, in Houston, in El Paso, and I'm willing to go. So I moved out of my apartment, called my college roommate, and I said, hey, I need your help. I know you have a house. You got an extra room. Can I crash there? I'll pay you a little bit of rent. I'll crash until I get a job. He's like, come on, let's go. So I moved out of my apartment and I went to stay in my buddy's small room. Now, luckily he had a nice house, but I had this little room. I come in pretty much just to sleep, go out, work on my certification, go work with coaches. Now, at this time, I was blasting emails out to anyone that had a connection to coaching. Every athletic director, every coach, I was sending out my information. I was letting them know when I would be certified, so when I could teach, and then when I could coach. And I was also living in a city called Rockwall, Texas, a great city. I still go to church in Rockwall. Rockwall is still known for their great football to this day. And I thought, man, this could be a great city for me to start my career in. So I went up to the high schools. They had 2 high schools at the time. And I went up and knocked on the doors. Told them who I was, asked if I could meet the head coach, walked in. And the head coaches started building connections with me. And we started talking, and I would come and visit on my days off. I would go up to the school. I would kind of just sit around and watch as I would go. I would shadow. I would volunteer. I'm carrying practice dummies at spring ball, sitting in coaches' meetings. I'm working with offensive coordinators, and I'm thinking, man, this is awesome. This is great. They're giving me such awesome access. And the head coaches are really building these great relationships with me. This is potential. I could actually work here. And then one day I got a call. Hey, coach, can you coach tennis? I've never coached tennis in my life. I maybe played tennis like once. Yeah, I can coach tennis. All right, I got a job for you, but you'd be coaching tennis, but then you could be an assistant football coach, be at a junior high level. Coach, I'm in. Tell me when, I'm there. All right, give me a couple weeks. I got to figure out the information. I got to figure out the details, and then I'll call you back. Are you kidding me? I'm about to have a job here in Rockwall. I was excited. So a couple weeks go by, and I get a phone call. Yes, sir. Coach, I'm sorry, but we can't hire a first-year teacher. Coach, teach for a year, then call me back. Bye. The principal hasn't even met me yet. How does the principal know I'm not a great teacher if they don't even give me an opportunity? How are you supposed to not hire a first-year teacher? How am I supposed to get experience? I was frustrated. I was down. I was told no because I thought there was a yes. And then all of a sudden I was told no by a person that never even met me, right? Overlooked before even being seen. At least give me an interview. Give me an opportunity to show you my skills and my talent, and then you can tell me no. I was frustrated. I was aggravated. I thought I had a job. I was offered a job and then told no. But all right, I'm a coach. I'm an athlete. Let's keep going. Let's move on. Let's move to the next story. Now, part of my certification program was that I had to calculate so many student teaching hours. Now, I was lucky enough to be able to student teach at the other high school in Rockwall. Now, I would sit in on classrooms and I would evaluate teachers, and then I would give lessons. And after I would give a lesson, I would run to the football department and I would help out with spring football as much as I could. Carrying practice dummies, catching footballs, carrying footballs, throwing footballs. Anything that I saw that needed to be done, I would do it. I'm volunteering. I'm just showing up. So I wanted to make sure I felt valued. I didn't want to just be standing around. I took part in as much as I could. And during this time, the coach was really speaking to me and he was building me up, yet he was being honest. And he straight up told me one day, Coach, we can't hire first-year teachers, so I think you would be a great fit, yet you need to go get a year of experience and then come back and apply for a job. Are you kidding me? Again? I mean, I'll start at a junior high. I'll start where I have to. Yet, I can't even get an opportunity because the principal won't even talk to me. Like, I can't even get an interview. I can't even sit in on an interview because it says first-year probationary teacher. I'm not even getting a chance. Once again, overlooked before even seen. I still show up. I still help out because this coach was a great coach and gave me a great opportunity. So I finished spring football out. But in my mind, I knew man, I'm not getting a job here. And right now, I don't have a job. And I told a great job that I was leaving. So I better figure something out soon. So now while you put your best foot forward in every situation, even though I wasn't going to be hired at the other high school in Rockwall, guess what? One of the teachers that I was student teaching for said, my husband's a head coach. My husband's a head coach in the next city over. Here's his information. I want you to send him an email. Wow. What a great opportunity, because I didn't just quit at the time where I was told no, and I kept moving forward and I kept putting forth my best effort. A teacher saw some potential in me and said, hey, I want you to reach out to my husband, who's a head coach. Great opportunity. I did it. As soon as I got back to my small little room I was staying in, sent out an email, boom. I get a reply, I get a phone call. Hey, coach, we want you to come up. I want you to tour the facilities because I think I got a great opportunity for you. All right, let's go. Great opportunity. So I show up to the school, and at the time it was a 3A high school. Now it's a large 5A, maybe 6A school. It's grown so much, the city has grown and exploded. But I show up to the school, and the coach tours me all around, like takes me to the high school, takes me to the junior high. He shows me, say, coach, this is where you'll be coaching. This is the practice field. Here's the offices. You know, I want you to come in and work for this junior high, and then we have potential for you to move up to varsity in a couple of years, maybe a year. And my mind is blown. I'm excited. I'm saying, coach, this is the job I want. This is where I want to be. And I'm fired up. I'm excited. Yes, sir. You tell me when, and I will be here. I'm student teaching, but when I'm done, I'll come over. I'll help out with practice. I'll do whatever I can until I can sign the dotted line. Yes, sir. We shook hands. I went out the door. I'm fired up. I'm motivated. My opportunity has arrived. A week later, no phone call. A week later, no phone call. I call up. Hey, coach. Sorry, I got bad news. Can't hire a first-year coach. Go get certified, fully certified. Go coach, go teach for a year, then call me back. All right, you're a great coach. You got great potential, but I just can't hire you right now. I'm sorry. I hope it works out for you. Bye. You're telling me once again, a principal who has never even met me or sat me on an interview will not hire me because it says probationary on my certification. I know that there are coaches out there feeling this same way, that you know you have the talent, you know you have the skills, and there's people out there that actually believe in you, right? There was 3 coaches that believed in me at the time. And I respect them for it, and I appreciate them for that because they did give me motivation. But there was also people that were telling me no. And they didn't even know the talent that I had. They didn't even know the skills I had. They didn't even give me an opportunity to sit in and teach a class for them. They just said, no, I'm sorry, I can't hire you because of something that it says on your transcript. They didn't even look at all the great parts of my transcript. And you might be hearing the same story. No, sorry, you don't have experience. Sorry, you don't have experience in this side of the job. Sorry, you're a great coach, but you're missing A, B, or C, and it's frustrating you. But this is where I want to tell you, say thank you to the no's. Say thank you, no. Thank you, no. Because those no's led to this yes. So now I told you about 3 no's, but there were way more no's than just the 3. Because remember, I was emailing and calling and reaching out to schools all over Texas. And I was being told the same thing. Sorry, we can't hire first-year teachers. I had even interned for free for an athletic department, which is a major district in Texas with 3 high schools, multiple junior highs, and they wouldn't even hire me. They knew the work ethic I had. I had worked for them for free. I had showed in, day out. And I said, sorry, we can't hire first-year teachers. The principals won't even look at your resume. So I got to keep going, though. I can't stop. I'm about to be without a job. I told my work, right? Sorry, I'm out. So let's go. I have to keep moving forward. And I go to a job fair. And I remember to this day the job fair. I walk in with my best suit, my only suit. I walk in the double doors, walk in, go to a table, and I meet Mr. Kevin Johnson. Man, Mr. Kevin Johnson. And we spoke for what felt like 10 minutes, gravitated immediately. And before I left, he said, I want you to email her and him as soon as you can. Yes, sir. And I walk off. I was like, that felt promising. That felt good. But I had known from the past that I keep being told no because I'm a first year teacher. So really, who knows? As soon as I get back to my friend's house, right, in that little room, I send out the emails, boom, 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 send it out. Whew, pray about it. Then all of a sudden I get a phone call. Mr. Simmons, we want to have you in for an interview. An interview? What are you talking about? Principals won't even talk to me because I'm a first year teacher. Obviously I didn't say that, but in my mind, but I'm just like, yes, sir, I'll be right there. I'll be there as soon as possible. So I had left the next day. I was about an hour away. I was going to a city called DeSoto, Texas. And at the time, I knew of DeSoto because they have had good football teams in the past. And I had even watched the DeSoto team when I was interning for the other athletic department when I was in grad school, and I knew they had good football teams. So I thought, okay, this is a great opportunity. It was going to be with a brand new junior high, McCowan Middle School. And I'm driving, I'm motivated, I'm excited. And I get all the way to DeSoto. I pull up, right? A brand new school. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful school. It's brand new. Wow, I walk in. It's bigger than my high school because I went to a small school. And I walk in and I meet the principal, Miss Sissy Lowe. Man, Mr. Kevin Johnson, Miss Sissy Lowe, another AP. They're sitting in the interview. We're interviewing. And it's going as good as I think it can. Before I leave, Mr. Simmons, we want you to take this job. You want it? Damn right. I'll take it. Yes. What an opportunity. I was so excited. I was going to be at DeSoto and I was going to be able to coach at a new middle school. Like, you don't get opportunities like that. And not only that, we could help build a culture because me and a new group of coaches came. I mean, we were all first year, second year coaches, and we built a culture. We built a program together from day one. Sign me up. Thank you, no. Thank you to all the no's. I mean, all the other schools would have been great opportunities, and I'm sure my coaching career would have still been spectacular. I would have still met great players. I would have still met great coaches. But I was able to go to DeSoto. Then while I was at DeSoto, a new head coach comes in, Coach Claude Mathis, and a new offensive coordinator, Coach Todd Peterman. And they both looked at me and said, you got what it takes. And Coach Claude Mathis told me, you're going to be with me next year. Meaning I was going to move to the varsity level. You're going to be with me next year. What? I'm being seen. These coaches believe in me, right? And they're not just saying it with their mouths. Like, they mean it. They're going to do everything they can do to make me be able to elevate my game, to allow me to coach at a higher level. Man, I gave everything I had to those junior high students and players. Man, we had tutorials. We had study halls. We had early practices. We stayed in. We threw the ball. We caught the ball. We did everything the varsity level did because we poured into them. And then Coach Mathis said, you're going to be with me next year. Man. Coach Todd Peterman said, I'm going to mentor you. I want you to show up on Sundays, on Saturdays, because you got something unique. Man, these guys believed in me. And it was so special. And to this day, without the no's, I never would have had the yes. And then once I went to the varsity level, a group of students that I had in 7th and 8th grade, I moved up to varsity. They came right up too, right? The first 7th grade group I had ever coached, they were now 9th graders. Then that 7th grade group, they became 9th graders. And I coached them all the way through graduation. Talk about chills. And I got story after story after story that I'm going to share with you later on. But without the no, there never could have been a yes. And I'm so thankful to Mr. Kevin Johnson, Miss Sissy Lowe, Coach Claude Mathis, Coach Todd Peterman. That group of people elevated my game. Because of the no's, I got a yes. And the yes became greatness. And I'm not even mentioning all the players and all the parents and the community. The community I still love to this day. Players that I still love to this day, that I can still call up, that they call me. Opportunities that I've had flying to Oregon, going to colleges all over, working with athletic departments, coaching at AT&T Stadium, coaching in major championship games, coaching with thousands and thousands of people, packed stadiums, packed college stadiums, to take over a speed and conditioning program and then elevate it to a benchmark in Texas. That never would have happened without the no's. So I didn't expect to get emotional in this video at all, right? But man, it brings back all these great memories. But I just want you to know, right? Say thank you to the no's. Thank you, no. Because those no's are going to lead to yeses, and that yes is going to lead you to the pinnacle of your career that you'll look back on and say, thank you, no. So thanks again for listening to C1 Coaching Academy. I hope our stories motivate you to become a better coach, to become a coach that's dedicated in what you're doing and not to give up, right? To stay dedicated, to stay motivated, to stay pushing forward, even with the no's, right? We will be here to help you, to help guide you. C1coachingacademy.com. Continue to watch our stories at C1 Coaching Academy YouTube channel, and we will share more and more and more about how the no's led to yeses, and about how to become a stronger motivator, about how to become a more developed coach, about how to elevate your game as a coach so then you can then elevate the game of the players that you're coaching. And not only elevate player at a time, but then that's elevating the teams, and your teams are becoming great. So thank you again. I hope you have a great coaching day, a great coaching career, and continue to push through the no's, because those no's are going to lead to a yes, and that yes is going to lead you to greatness.